Hey guys, Tony. Good morning. I know a lot of, I know, ugh. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for a Bitcoin TA and where I think it's going to start moving from now. Um, you guys know that I've been bearish ever since we came back up here to 52K. It did seem like we were going to be dropping all over again. We had that perfect sell um, created right here. Unfortunately, that candle was way too big to take the sell right there. Um, So, this was not a good place to short because, they gave you the perfect sell, but you had that super, 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 super long sell off here, the long candle. So it would have been it would have been a really bad entry, like right here, right? Um, as of right now, I don't know. I gotta say that I'm still kind of bearish on Bitcoin. I don't want to say that I am 100%, but I want to see price break at least 49.5, and I wanted to go back to 52K. That's what I needed. That's where I needed to be for me to be bullish again. Right now, I mean, we are going to be creating essentially a perfect buy entry on the daily. More than likely, sometime today or tomorrow, it's probably going to close that way. And if I had a forecast, I'd probably say you're going from, let's go with this, right? I'd say within the next like maybe couple of 2 weeks or so, you're gonna see another $5,000 run. Let's say we close. I'd say somewhere like right here. Let's go with. I'd say it's probably gonna go up a little bit higher, but let's use a current daily candle, right? Let's go with 9 days, and then we'll see a 55.63 run up. There you go. So I'd say we have a really good shot at hitting 53K if everything is pretty solid. But the only reason why I am worried here, and I'll show you guys right now, is because this you guys know that I don't trade candle patterns unless they're like perfect. Um, and this one is actually really good. This is actually a really good head and shoulders pattern, right? The head isn't, or this neck isn't long, like it's not big, and for the most part, this head and shoulders pattern would be exactly what I would look for when shorting something. So I mean, as of right now, you guys can see that we are kind of headed to creating to create a head and shoulders pattern, right? I mean, I guess you can always just do this on Trading View, right? Just really quickly, your left shoulder, your right shoulder at the peak. Sorry, your head, and then more than likely somewhere around the same level, like here somewhere, would be your right shoulder, like somewhere like this, right? This would essentially kind of be your head and shoulder pattern, like right there. So I can delete these, and I'll leave that pattern like right there. But the thing is, if we do something like that, we would have to break the area of like 49.5. Like you'd have to run past that to 52K. And then, my forecast is would be like at 53K, right? Because of the run up that we had here. I'll set that up really quick just to have it. But from here, oh, sorry, it was actually a little bit more. So 66, it was actually a little bit higher than that. So we'll go with here, 9 days, 8, 9, then we'll do 66. Yeah, so I mean, if I had to make a forecast, I'd say that. I'd say we're going to 54,200, right? Roughly like 54,000, right? Um, that is taken into consideration that this right shoulder does not come back down, and then you create a head and shoulders pattern in which I think that everything is going to be broken. I think support at 46.5 will be broken, and then trend is going to be broken. So we did come back to to previous support, and it's holding relatively well. That's what I really really wanted, right? I did not want support or trend to get broken. That's what I did not want, right? And it seems like support at 46.4 is holding up extremely well, which makes me really, really happy, right? Because I told you guys in the last video, I'm like, if this breaks, right, we're going to 40K 100%. And I still think that there's a very high chance that we can hit that, right? On the weekly also, I mean, I have been seeing the weekly starting to create a little bit more bear momentum, right? Um, but for the most part, we have been starting to move up a little bit. So I'm extremely happy right now that we do have a lot of support at 46.4. Again, the 4 hour does look like it can create another perfect sell-off relatively soon. And if that happens, you can see a drop from like what happened here, right? You had a drop from 51K all the way down to lows of 47K. So you had a $4,000. You had like a really nice $4,000 drop. So if you're somewhere around this range, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's say we're at 48.5. If you drop 4K from here, right? That would be 44.5. That would put us all the way down like around this range, right? So if we do respect that 4 hour, you would end up being somewhere like right here. That's where you would end up being. You wouldn't go all the way down to trend, but you would definitely come back like down here. So, as of right now, there's a lot more going against Bitcoin than there is, for it to be bullish, right? And I'm not gonna be bullish until what did I erase? Oh, the original forecast. Yeah, that one I can erase that one. I'll erase the candle pattern too. I don't really need that. But this is where I think I think Bitcoin, this is where it can go. I can't say that I'm 100% bullish because there's definitely a lot more against Bitcoin right now going down than that is recovering, right? I mean, even on the monthly, you have a really, you're going to create another bear month, right? Which is definitely not good at all. So all I'm really waiting for is for this daily trigger to happen and then for us to see the move. So if this daily trigger actually takes us all the way up to 54.2, then I'm absolutely happy, and that means that more than likely the weekly is going to close bullish. I'll tell you guys that right now. I think if this happens and we actually end up running a 54.2 within, before Sunday, I think we close a bullish week, and I would be 100% bullish on Bitcoin, and I would tell everybody 100% start throwing all your money at Bitcoin. But right now there's a lot more going against Bitcoin than there is, for it to be bullish. So I'm still a little bit biased towards the bear side because I think there's definitely more going against it. As of right now, if I just by looking at TA, I had to make a forecast, I'd say we're going to 54K by early-ish January. So right here it says January 8th. I can say that within the first 2 weeks of January, we can probably see 54.2 after this happens, right? But it really depends on how big the rally on the hour on the daily is. If you see this run up to 52K and not break, and you have another daily trigger, that's not good, because then you would essentially have like a triple top, right? You already have a double top here, but then you would have a triple top, and then it just. We have to wait. I don't know what's going to happen to Bitcoin right now, but there's a lot more things that are making me think that it's going to go down further as opposed to it recovering and running back to all-time highs, right? There's really only two things that I can see right now that are going for it, and that's it possibly closing a bullish trigger on my indicators, and then also the weekly closing bullish sometime next week, maybe, unless we have some crazy run before this week Sunday, right? We gotta wait and see though. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think after the daily trigger, there's a chance that we go to 54.2, but there's also a chance that you create this head and shoulders pattern and drop right back down, or the monthly bear close would take it all the way down, or this daily trigger does absolutely nothing and we go all the way down. There's 9 times out of 10, Bitcoin right now looks more bearish than it is bullish. So I won't say that I'm bearish. I won't say that I'm bullish. That's all I'm gonna say. And if I have to make a forecast after this daily trigger happens, I think we're going to 54.2 within the first 2 weeks of January. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.